Hi, I'm Christian Brindle, and welcome to the Everything Medicare Podcast. What's up, Everything Medicare Podcast Nation? This is Christian Brindle coming to you to talk to you about Medicare. Every single week, I bring you 3 podcast episodes where we discuss your Medicare, your Medicaid, your Social Security, and everything that has to do with that golden age called retirement. I'm coming to you on a Monday. Thank you so much for taking some time out of your very, very busy start to the week to join me and talk about one of my favorite subjects and topics in the whole world, and that is Medicare. I wanted to start today off with a little bit of news, and then we'll get into the topic at hand. This is episode 154, and if you're unfamiliar with me and my work, my name is Christian Brindle, and I own a company called Christian Brindle Insurance Services, where we work with people on Medicare of all different situations. We work with all of the largest insurance companies in the Medicare industry, whether it be Medicare supplement plans, Medicare Advantage plans, or Medicare Part D prescription drug plans, or anything in between. We do it. We specialize in it. We carry a multitude of different insurance companies, and any insurance company that we feel can help our clients, we carry them. Okay. Now, I've written several books, folks, on the topic of Medicare, but I've never done a book in general about just insurance in general. And to those of you that have been listening to us for some time, we have a pretty established audience at this point, and I'm very grateful to every single one of you that take the time to listen each and every week. But for those of you who've been listening for some time, you know I've been working on my latest book, The Insurance Funnel, since September. I started working on it in September. Obviously, it had to be put on hold during the enrollment period, which was in October. Enrollment period is basically our tax season, for those of you who don't know. From October 15th through December 7th, really, October 1st is when the craziness really starts at our office, but from October 15th through December 7th is when people that are on Medicare Advantage plans or Part D prescription drug plans can change those plans, or people can go from supplement plans to Advantage plans, or Advantage plans to supplement plans, or the whole 9 yards. It's like it's open season, if you will. And so the book had to be put on hold, and my goal was to have it out by the end of December, by the end of the year in 2019, and it just didn't get done. It didn't seem like we really slowed down that much after the December 7th deadline passing, like we were still incredibly busy. My wife and I have a little girl. She's 9 months old now. Her name is Violet, and, a lot of things kind of kept me from finishing the book. Now, that being said, it is done. And not only is it done, it's available! So, right now, at this very second, as you listen to this, the Insurance Funnel is live. It is for sale. It is available for pickup on Amazon. It's $15 at the moment. And it's worth every penny, I believe. The Insurance Funnel is called in total, the Insurance Funnel, 9 tests that every insurance policy must pass in order to be worthy of purchase. The Insurance Funnel. These 9 tests are basically designed to where you put an insurance policy of any kind, whether it be auto, homeowners, health insurance, Medicare, life insurance, whatever it might be. You put every single policy that you're looking at purchasing into the funnel. And if it cannot pass all 9 of these tests, it can't come out the other end. As it goes down the funnel, the walls get thinner and less things can pass through it. Right? This is a formula, a foolproof formula that I've come up with that can help you in your decision-making process of purchasing any single type of insurance plan. I'm really excited about it, and I'm really excited for what it's going to bring to the industry because I've never seen anything quite like it. I've never seen a concept quite like it. And this is my process that I've used in helping my own clients make selections on their plans over the years. And I'm putting it out there for the world to have access to. So I'm very, very excited about it. Insurance Funnel, Go to Amazon, type in Christian Brindle, Brindle, Christian Brindle, and it's a blue book with a funnel on it. Can't miss it. There is no Kindle, there is no ebook version at the moment. We may come out with that later, we may not. Some of our books have ebook versions, like Medicare Guidance does, but this one particularly does not at the moment. I will let you know if that changes, but at the moment it's just paperback. But folks, this can transition into saving you money in every single type of insurance policy you have. And if you're like me, you have a bunch of them. I have homeowners insurance. I have car insurance. I have life insurance, which I've done episodes about. I have health insurance. I have all kinds of insurance. I have dental insurance. Insurance is a huge part of our everyday lives. And what I can tell you is this book that I just put out can help you make good decisions and prevent you from making bad decisions. It's practical. It will not age, and it will always be relevant, no matter what type of insurance you're looking at. So head over to Amazon, pick it up. I know you've been waiting. I apologize for the wait. Launched late last week. Insurance Funnel, Amazon.com. So let's get right into today's episode. Sorry for my little ranting there. So there's been some news that came to my attention, and we did not report on it right away, but it was something that I wanted to talk about. There's a prescription drug plan by the name of Spring Health that has been in several different markets, and they're not a company that we carry. I'll just come right out and say that. We carry a multitude of different companies, but there are some companies we don't work with, very, very few and far between. There are some companies that don't work with brokers, and there are some companies that we don't know anything about, and we kind of want to see how they do in the market sometimes, especially when it comes to prescription drug plans. There's a lot of prescription drug plan companies that come in and out of the market. But there were some situations, especially during the enrollment period, where clients of mine, and some of you that might be listening to this podcast, have come to me for advice on prescription coverage. And I might have, ran a prescription comparison for you and said, well, this ClearSpring plan, I don't know much about it, but from what I'm seeing, it looks like it would cover your prescriptions better than any other plan. And I recommended them to go with that one directly without me. And that's what we always do. If there's a plan available that's going to be better that you can't get through me, I'm going to let you know that. However, the reason why sometimes with some of these newer companies, we wait a second to see how they're going to do before we pick them up is because we don't want to put our names behind anything other than excellence. And we didn't know anything about this company, and it looks like they're in hot water, if you will. This is coming from the HealthSpring website. Effective January 31st, 2020 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, quote unquote CMS, imposed sales and marketing sanctions on Spring Health. This means that Spring Health cannot accept enrollments into our plan and or market to enrollees. At this time, we hope to close all gaps in service with the CMS as quickly as possible. So what does this mean? In a nutshell, what it means, folks, is this. It means that Spring Health, in the eyes of CMS, did something very wrong. Uncompliant, probably. If I had to guess, I don't know any more details other than that. But that's on their website, and it came to my attention recently that this company has been sanctioned. Now, I've seen prescription drug plan companies be sanctioned by the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services in the past. Sometimes it can last a long time. I've seen it last as long as a year sometimes. What does this mean for the people that are already on the plan? Well, you still have your plan, you still have your coverage, you're not going to lose it or anything like that. The contract year's for the calendar year, so rest assured with that. But anytime you see a company get sanctioned by CMS, it's never a good thing. It's because CMS believes that they are doing something uncompliant, rule-breaking, and in some situations even illegal. we don't know. We just don't know that much information. And these guys aren't one of my companies, and I really don't know a whole lot about them. But to my knowledge, this was their, they're a brand new company. Not even a year in the industry, maybe a couple years in the industry at most. And they're already under a sanction. These things can go for a while. Basically, it's almost like, they're being audited, or it's almost like, they're not being audited, but they're being, investigated. This isn't a serious thing for a company. It's designed to work in a way that the current customers are not going to lose their coverage or be affected. So rest assured if you have the plan. But what does this mean for the future of the company? I cannot really say. I'll tell you what this means in more depth. I'll tell you my thoughts in segment 2. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. I have to take a quick break and hear from this week's sponsor. Be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks so much for sticking with me through that break. Let's talk about Clear Spring Health and what my thoughts are with this plan. I cannot really say what my thoughts are of the company because I haven't done business with them. I haven't had a lot of dealings with them, and I haven't heard a whole lot about them. And the things I have heard, I can't share because me as an independent Medicare health plan specialist, I cannot put my feelings out there publicly about a particular company, especially on a podcast like this that gets heard far and wide. But what I can say is, anytime a company gets sanctioned by the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, a sanction, in my definition of a sanction, would basically mean they're frozen until further notice. They're put on hold, because they were doing something, at least according to CMS, they were doing something that they weren't supposed to be doing, and it was obviously serious enough that they basically had to put a stop on their operations of taking on new customers, freeze them, if you will, until they could investigate them. How does it end? It depends on how long it takes. Could be a couple months, could be 6 months, could be a year or more. It depends. We've seen different situations like this with sanctions. And if they determine there's no evidence of it, they let them off scot-free. If, let's say that Clear Spring was able to win, then good for them. But it hurts the insurance company's business dramatically because they cannot take on new customers for a long period of time in some instances. So now let's say they were found guilty. Depending on the severity of the offense, they might pay a fine. Who knows? It just kind of depends on what CMS determines is necessary for punishment based on the offense that they're accusing them of if they were, hypothetically speaking, found guilty. I don't know much about this company. I really don't. I know that there were a couple instances where they looked like they were the best prescription coverage for people. They're a newer company, relatively unknown, and we always tell people what plan's going to cover their prescriptions the best. Prescription plans don't ask health questions, and they're very easy to change during open enrollment. So people can change from one company to another relatively easily. It's not too much of a problem. So we try to recommend the best prescription plan for what they need at that very moment. And if something changes, we can change it during open enrollment. It's not like a supplement plan where if you want to change it down the road, there's health questions involved. Even Medicare Advantage plans have one health question. That's if you have end-stage renal disease, which is essentially meaning you're on dialysis. Now, how many people are on end-stage renal disease compared to people that are not? It's a huge percentage that are not. So most people are able to change relatively easily. That being said, prescription plans are very easy to change, and so we try to recommend what's best for them at this very moment, for what they need right now. And if a plan comes up best and we recommend it, it's because it's the best, it's going to save them the most money in their prescriptions. But we never know what's going on behind the scenes, especially with companies we're not working with. I know quite a bit about what goes on behind the scenes with companies that we do business with. because we talk to people. I know people in the company. I have connections. I kind of have an idea. But with companies that we're not contracted with, like HealthSpring, Clear Spring Health, excuse me, Clear Spring Health. Apologies. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if a company like that's going to get sanctioned. It's as much a surprise to me as anybody. And there are some companies in the industry that never get sanctioned, and you probably think that they should. So it's kind of unpredictable with this kind of stuff. But with some of the stuff that some of these insurance companies get away with, there's a lot of great insurance companies out there, but there's a few out there that are just dirty, in my opinion. And with some of the stuff that, from the inside, we see them get away with and they don't get sanctioned for, it usually makes me think that it's pretty severe, the accusations that are being accused in a company for them actually to get sanctioned. You don't see that happen every day. And it's something that you folks need to be aware of. You need to be aware of these kind of things, because what's the worst case scenario for something like this? Well, maybe the company could get shut down. Who knows? Of course, they have to offer coverage for the remainder of the year. That part can't change. They can't just pull the plug on your plan mid-year and you're stuck with nothing. They have to at least continue your plan till the end of the year. So if that, let's say something extreme like that did happen, I'm not saying that will or won't happen. I have no insight. I'm just saying, let's say, hypothetically speaking, worst case scenario, the people will keep their coverage and they're going to have 3 months to get a new plan for 2021 that are on Clear Spring Health. If that was to happen, hypothetically speaking, that's not happening that I know of. You did not hear that from me. But it'll be very interesting to kind of watch how this unfolds, and if it gets resolved, and if it doesn't get resolved, how it folds out, how it plays out. You never really know with something like this, folks. Now, this is a shorter episode than we normally do, and it's because there's not a whole lot I have to say about it. But it is something that I thought would be important to bring to your attention, because we bring news about what's going on in the Medicare world to you. We bring topics, and this was something that just relatively came under my radar, and I thought it would be a good thing for you to know about, especially since some of you, we've recommended the plan just based on how they cover your prescriptions. And I just wanted to clear that up to let you know that if you do have the plan, you're not going to lose your coverage. You're not going to have trouble getting your prescriptions or anything like that. You shouldn't anyway. This is just stopping the company from getting new people coming into the plan. CMS doesn't want to come in and block you from getting your coverage. That's not what their intention is. But their intention is, if there's something going on with that company that's not supposed to be going on, or is unethical, or whatever the case might be, they want to stop new people from coming into it and being exposed to it immediately until the sanction is complete. So this is something that you need to know about, folks. But this episode is only 2 segments for that reason. As always, folks, I really, really appreciate you taking the time. If you've found valuable information in this podcast, folks, please do me a favor. Leave us a 5-star review with a little comment about what you've enjoyed about the podcast. It helps us out tremendously, reaching more people just like you, especially if you're listening to us on a platform that allows it, whether it be Stitcher, whether it be Apple, whatever the case might be. I appreciate it greatly. I appreciate everybody that has left us a review. You mean the world to me, and I really, really appreciate it. We are in the process of getting our California license. We're almost done. I have my personal license there, but now Christian Brindle Insurance Services need to get its license there, which is, from my understanding, a little bit of tricky process. So it might take a little bit longer, but anybody that listens to us in California that wants to do business with Christian Brindle, we're getting there. And I will let you know when it comes. And folks, don't forget to go pick up the insurance funnel. It's here. And I wrote it just for you. I put a lot of work into it. And I can't tell you how much I think it can help you in your decision-making process, even if you're not an insurance whiz. It breaks things down in such a way that's so simple. I believe it can help you. Thanks so much for taking the time, folks. We're going to be doing an interview that will come out on Wednesday's episode with Scott Huser, who's an old friend of mine. He worked for our local United Healthcare operation here in Utah for years, and he just actually decided to go become an agent and build a business, and he's just doing fantastic, and he's one of the smartest people I have ever talked to in the insurance industry. So I'm really looking forward to bringing that to you. You're not going to want to miss that podcast episode. That's scheduled to go up Wednesday, so stay tuned for that. As always, thanks so much for taking the time. Take care and have a great rest of your day.